The first sound wasn't a scream, it was the crash of a glass hitting the deck, followed by the piercing wail of my newborn daughter. I tore through the screen door of our cabin, heart pounding, to find Laura Hensley's manicured nails clawing at the baby carrier in my wife Sarah's trembling arms. Sarah's face was ghostly white, iced tea dripping from her shaking hands onto the weathered wood. Laura's lips curled into a snarl. "If you won't share your space with my family, you don't deserve yours." Those were the last words she spat before my fist connected with her jaw, sending her sprawling onto the dirt path like a toppled monument. The air around Lake Serenity felt deathly still, save for the faint trickle of her blood on the stones. If you think neighborhood disputes can't turn deadly, you've never met Laura. It was July 12, 2024, and Lake Serenity, nestled in the rolling hills of Oregon, shimmered like liquid silver under the afternoon sun. The breeze carried the crisp scent of cedar, and I'd been dreaming of this weekend for months. Just me, Sarah, and our 8-month-old daughter, Lily, in the cabin we'd scraped every penny to buy. No meetings, no rules, no noise, just the quiet we craved. I was tending to burgers on the grill, the sizzle a soft promise of peace, when Sarah stepped onto the porch, Lily cradled against her chest, her hair glowing like a halo in the golden light. Her smile could melt stone. This is why we're here, I thought. To live. To breathe. Then came the crunch of tires on the dirt road. One black SUV rolled up, then another, then a third, their polished exteriors gleaming like a warning. Doors swung open, and out stepped Laura Hensley, the self-appointed queen of the Lake Serenity Homeowners Association, her navy blazer crisp, her heels stabbing the earth like knives. Clipboard in hand, smugness radiating from her like heat, she led a swarm of followers, her husband Greg, her son Tyler in a muscle tee and mirrored sunglasses, and a chaotic mix of relatives hauling coolers, speakers, and floaties. Laura didn't hesitate. She marched straight for our porch like she owned it. "Mark, Sarah," she purred, her voice sharp as shattered glass. "We're so glad you're ready for us. Tyler says your dock's the best on the lake." I froze, the tongs slipping in my grip. Ready for what? Sarah's eyes darted to mine, confusion flickering. Laura waved a hand like it was obvious. "Our community weekend. HOA policy allows shared access to prime lakefront during overflow events." "Didn't you see the email?" My chest tightened. There was no email. The hum of crickets vanished, drowned by the thump of Tyler's speaker blasting hip-hop across the water. This wasn't a visit. It was an invasion. Laura didn't wait for permission. She swept past me, heels clicking on the porch like gunfire, and claimed our patio like it was her birthright. Tyler yanked open our outdoor fridge, grabbing beers like he lived here, his buddies tossing caps into the grass. Laura surveyed the lake like a conqueror, her voice dripping with false warmth. "Mark, this spot's perfect. We'll set up here, maybe take the kayaks later." I slammed the tongs down. "You're not staying. This is our property." Her smile was a blade. "Private property? HOA rules allow shared use during overflow. You'd know if you read the email." "There was no email," I snapped. Her eyes gleamed with defiance. "Then you missed it." She clapped her hands, and her entourage froze like trained dogs. Turning to Sarah, she said, "Let's talk food. Tyler's allergic to onions. No mushrooms either. We'll Venmo you." Sarah blinked, stunned. "Excuse me." Laura's brows arched. "Food for my family. Kids are hungry. You wouldn't let them starve, would you?" I stepped forward, jaw clenched. "We didn't invite you. Leave." Laura's voice dropped, venomous. "So you're denying my family food on a holiday weekend?" "Yes," I said ice cold. "You don't belong here." Something feral flashed in her eyes. She pulled out her phone like a weapon. "I see. We'll do this the hard way." Before I could react, she was on the line. "Hello, 911. I'm at Lake Serenity. A woman's refusing to feed minors. It's neglect, discrimination. I want her arrested." Sarah gasped. "That's a lie." Laura silenced her with a slicing gesture, her smirk triumphant. My pulse roared. This wasn't a misunderstanding, was war. Sirens wailed across the lake, blue lights flashing like a storm breaking. 2 sheriff's cruisers rolled up, neighbors peeking from their cabins, phones out, ready to capture the spectacle. Laura stood smug at the porch steps, adjusting her blazer. "Now we'll see what happens when you defy the community." Sarah clung to Lily, trembling. I forced my voice steady. "Stay calm, Mark. Don't give her what she wants. Deputy Carl Rogers stepped out, a bear of a man with steady hazel eyes. We'd served together years ago before I became a state police investigator. Mark Evans, he said, his tone even. Didn't expect you here like this. Laura pounced. Officer, arrest her. She refused to feed my kids. It's neglect, an HOA violation. Carl blinked. You called 911 over food? Laura's voice rose, shrill. She's targeting us. It's discrimination. Sarah's voice broke through, firm despite her fear. You came uninvited. We didn't plan for you. That's not discrimination, it's respect. Laura spun on her. Shut your mouth. You, my roar cut her off. You don't give orders on my property. You don't threaten my wife. Laura froze, startled by the steel in my voice. I handed Carl my ID, not just my license. License, but my state police investigator credentials. Carl's jaw tightened as he read it. You're a cop? He asked. Chief of Special Investigations, I said coldly. And Karen, sorry, Laura's trespassing. You could cuff her for a false report. Her smugness wavered, her face flushing with rage. She leaned in, hissing, This isn't over, Mark. Then she stormed off, heels stabbing the dirt. The next morning, the air was thick with tension. Sarah was rocking Lily by the window, trying to soothe her, when fists pounded on the back gate. I yanked the door open to find Laura, mud-caked boots and fury in her eyes, with Tyler filming behind her. You thought you won? She spat, shoving past me toward Sarah. Look at her, acting so superior. Before I could react, she lunged, pushing Sarah into the wall. Lily's wail pierced the air. Something snapped inside me. I slammed into Laura, hurling her across the porch. She hit the boards hard, gasping. I grabbed her collar, dragging her to the edge. Touch my family again, and you won't walk away. I dropped her, my words like thunder. This war's begun. By dawn, 3 vehicles rolled up, 2 SUVs and a sedan. Laura emerged, bruised but venomous, flanked by private security guards. This property is under HOA suspension for hostile behavior, she declared. I laughed, sharp and dangerous. You attacked my wife and child, and now you're evicting us. A guard stepped forward. Comply, or we escalate. Sarah gripped my arm, but then we heard a buzz drone circling above, Tyler's voice crackling. Smile. Mark, this is going viral. Laura smirked. Evidence for court. I smiled back, cold as ice. You're not the only one who plays dirty, Laura. Inside, I opened my laptop, pulling up files I'd kept for years, evidence of Laura's fraud, shell companies, and secret plans to seize lakefront properties. My friend Mike, a tech specialist, confirmed the drones were linked to Tyler's company, streaming doctored footage to paint us as villains. I cloned the feed, Mike said. It's airtight. I hit record, going live online. Laura Hensley called 911 to arrest my wife over food. She's stealing from the HOA to seize our homes. I posted screenshots of invoices, texts, and raw drone footage. They want this lake. They won't get it. The video exploded. Neighbors rallied, and Save Lake Serenity trended. At the HOA meeting, the hall was a war zone. Homeowners chanted for Laura's ousting as I slammed a folder of evidence on the podium. Screens lit up with her crimes: fraud, harassment, conspiracy. Laura's smile crumbled. This is fake, she shrieked. I stepped close. You're a thief and a tyrant. Sheriff Carl entered with cuffs. Laura Hensley, you're under arrest. The crowd roared as she was led away, her power shattered. But 2 days later, a pamphlet arrived. Serenity Towers, luxury condos by Hensley Real Estate. Tyler had been planning this for months. He's bought out cabins, Mike warned. The vote's next week. I called my contacts, digging into Tyler's forged permits and shady deals. I went live again. Tyler's erasing this community. I have the proof. The video went viral, sparking lawsuits and protests. As peace settled over Lake Serenity, I sat with Sarah and Lily on the porch, the water calm at last. Laura's greed nearly destroyed us, but we fought with truth and won. Yet Tyler's SUV still lurked in the shadows. The storm wasn't over. What would you do if someone like Laura came for your home, your family? Would you stay quiet or fight like hell? Would you risk everything to expose a tyrant, or let them win to keep the peace? Drop your thoughts below, hit like, and subscribe for more stories of real battles for justice. Stay strong, stay free, and never stay silent.